Hi, Poga.
Hello, Elise.
Nice to have you here. Welcome.
Yes, yeah, good to have you. So,
Can you tell us a few words about yourself and about the tool you are going to show us?
yeah, okay, sure. So, hi, I'm Poga, and I'm the product director of the Infuse AI. I joined this company like early this year as a software developer, and then I started helping like shaping our product direction of our product, something I think, and then yeah, I got promoted to the product director. So yeah, and today I'm going to demonstrate the open source product our company is providing something called PrimeHub. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. So do you have a demo for us?
Yeah. So let me share my screen and let's get started. Yeah. Okay. So PrimeHub. So PrimeHub is an open source platform that's running on Kubernetes, and this kind of like a multi-tenancy machine learning platform for like a data science thing, or like if you are hosting a machine learning bootcamp, then this is exactly the product that is designed for you. So let me share some back.
It a bit larger? Sorry for interrupting. So
Yeah, okay, sure.
To see.
It's a bit small.
Yeah, that's
this
better.
is okay.
Yeah, maybe you can make it even larger.
Yeah, sure. How about this?
Yeah, that's excellent. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So let me share some background for this product. So about 3 years ago, we worked with some non-profit in Taiwan. They are setting up like a machine learning bootcamp for the industry. Well, in Taiwan, we are kind of like we have a lot of like a veteran in manufacturing or like a traditional industries. And so one of the non-profit we work with, they want to train this like a traditional industry to learn about machine learning. And so we work with them and we provide a platform for them to like set up like to have to start doing machine learning, you have to set up a lot of environments, like you have to get notebooks running and you have to install a lot of dependency, you have several GPU driver, this kind of thing. Yeah, so we help them to provide a platform, and then this product kind of just start growing like based on the feedbacks on the users, and then it start evolving into a full feature machine learning platform. Yeah, and everything is open source. So if you go to our GitHub, you can find everything here. And let me demonstrate how this platform looks like. So it's just like what I said, this PrimeHub is running on Kubernetes. And so everyone knows Kubernetes is really hard to set up, and it takes quite a lot of time and resource and money. So for us, we provide an AWS CloudFormation and added one.primehub.io website. And so if you click on this, and you can get a one-click setup for your.
Can you make it larger? It's very small.
Yeah.
You probably have a very large screen, right?
Sorry, let me resize my browser. Okay, is this better?
Yeah, this is a lot better. Thanks.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, if you go to this website, the one.primehub.io, you can just set up a PrimeHub with everything from the GitHub, and you can get a complete cloud native and with everything set up for you, like auto scaling or like resource management and permissions, like the AWS IAM setup. So everything going is ready for you. All you have to do is to log in with your AWS account, and you can get everything ready. So this is kind of like a perfect setup for if, for example, you want to host a bootcamp for this weekend, and then you just don't have to prepare anything. Just go to this website and click on the button, and you get a complete full featured environment for your classroom. And well, after the class is finished, you just delete it, and it won't cost you any money. So this is a pretty cool way. And after, well, it's going to take about 30 minutes to set this up, but it's all automatically, but you have to wait for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to do this right now. But after it's ready, you will get the email, and you have everything you have about your URL you have, and a login account and a password. I already changed this, so don't worry. And then you can go to you can just log in to your PrimeHub directly. So if you click on the URL,
and maybe I didn't understand you, but you mentioned you won't need to pay anything. You mean you won't need to pay anything on top of Kubernetes, on top of AWS resources, right? Because all these instances that you create, like I saw a GPU there, I guess you have to pay for that, right? But for these things running on top of that, like for PrimeHub, you don't have to pay anything extra. This is correct,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You should have to pay for your own infrastructure, but it's fully automated and also scalable. So if you take everything done after you finish, you won't cost you extra money.
Yeah. And this URL, I see it's CloudFront URL. So this is something that Amazon creates, right? So as a part of this cloud formation stack that you created, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we also help you set up the TLS certificates, so it's fully encrypted.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move. And so if you go to the login with the accounts and the password you get, and you get to log into your own PrimeHub. And so for the most common usage, I think we provide a lot of stuff in this platform. This platform kind of evolving in kind of uncontrollable ways. So you got a lot of features in there. But for the most part, I think it's mostly about like to start your own notebook servers, which is a Kubernetes notebook server. And you can deploy like batch jobs, or you can schedule jobs on this platform. And you can also do model deployment, model management, and deployment management, and a lot of things on this platform. So it's kind of like really everything you need for your ML ops or for your data science is in here. Okay, so let's continue. So I think I'm going to show you about like how you can start a notebook with your prepared data set and everything you have in the notebook to start like quickly get your class running. So if you go to the notebook page here, you can click on the button and you can select like what kind of instance you want to run. And this is all just the instance type provided by the AWS. And for example, I want a T3 large, and you can also choose from like what kind of image you want to run. So if I want all my users have a PyTorch ready, I can just click on this, the PyTorch 1.8 version, and then just click on Start Notebooks. And then it took about like 10 seconds. So it will get your containers ready, and you can get your notebook ready and start working on that.
Does it create a new instance right now, or what is it?
Yeah. If so, I already have my Kubernetes cluster scaled, so I already have an instance ready. But if you don't have an instance ready, it will automatically create one instance for you. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about the details.
Yeah. Okay. So you have EKS here, right? And EKS. Internally, you make a request, and then it just creates a new pod there, I assume, right? With this stuff running there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all running on EKS. Yeah, and so then you get this, which is complete. Well, I think everybody already pretty familiar with it. And it's a full feature Jupyter Lab instance ready for you. And you can see that I already have a lot of like prepared examples and data set preparing here. So if I'm a student here, I don't have to download or get all this data set. Everything will be already ready in my notebook and just start to do the stuff that you want me to do. For example, maybe I want to do this example, and you will get it here. Yeah, everything is already ready. So that's, I think, because there's going to be a lot of features in the PrimeHub. So I think the first important part is like this kind of computing resource management provided by PrimeHub. But I think I want to go.
Quick question. So let's say if you mentioned the bootcamp, right? So let's say if we have 20 students in this bootcamp, so then each of them goes and creates a notebook and works on this notebook, right? And you handle all this, getting your instances, putting images there, starting it, you all handle that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of like the original use case designed for PrimeHub. And so then I want to, well, these, I think that they are going to kind of like pretty common features. But so I want to go to some interesting features provided by PrimeHub. So, well, I think one interesting part for the machine learning industry is that the landscape is changing rapidly, right? So you're going to have a lot of different tools you want to use in your workflow. For example, I might want to tell my students or make my team label some new data, and I might want them to use like something a lot of different tools like maybe Label Studio, I think. And one interesting feature for PrimeHub is that we have an internal feature called apps, which is it's kind of like a Prime app store inside PrimeHub. And you can start like a lot of different tools inside. So maybe I can start VS Code server. I can start Label Studio. I can start MATLAB. MATLAB is kind of crazy, but it does work. Yeah. So, yeah. So for example, here I prepared a Label Studio instance here. So then you can see that. So in the notebook, I have some data here, which is some pictures of the screws like this. Which is kind of like maybe there are good qualities or bad qualities, kind of. So there's something fast here. Then I can just directly start a Label Studio instance from inside the PrimeHub. So I can click open.
Label Studio is some open source.
Yeah, Label Studio is for labeling data, right? Yeah, exactly. They are also open source, and so this is the GitHub. Yeah, everything is here. So we are we provide an integration with them. Yeah, and also really interesting about the stuff we are doing right now. So if you go to the Open Label Studio, and you can go to the Screw project, and you can see that all the data is imported from the PrimeHub notebook into this Label Studio. So you can label these data, or you can fix the labels, you can update the labels directly, and their mascot is really cute. So give it some time. I'm not sure what is the name of this animal, but it's good, it's cute.
Mouse?
I'm not so sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Just a very big one.
Yeah, just a very big mouse, I guess. Yeah, so you can see there's all the data are already imported into the Label Studio automatically, and you can update them. Like, for example, maybe this is actually a good screw, maybe this is a bad screw, and kind of update. And then if I go back to the Jupyter Lab, I go to the label directly. You can see that all the label data is here. So we are not just like a Jupyter Lab notebook platform. We actually create we're kind of like a platform for you to connect different parts of the tools that you want to use in your workflow and make them work together. I think that's the most interesting part for PrimeHub. So
yeah, that was seamless. Like you just labeled and this thing appeared in your file system. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Really cool. Yeah. And some other integration that's not here is that we also integrated with some of our partners, which is an AutoML2 provider, and so we kind of like package out the PrimeHub and the Azure together. So then they get a full featured AutoML platform with all the infrastructure ready for them, and they can just sell the product. So I think this is also an interesting way to integrate PrimeHub into different tools and to create new packagings. Yeah. So this is the PrimeHub apps, and which is also really cool and something out here. And also another fun thing is that in the internal demo for this feature, we actually create a multiplayer Doom server for inside PrimeHub. So we kind of just playing Doom with inside PrimeHub. So we kind of find an excuse to play video games while working. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. So you really actually can put everything inside apps, and we will work. Yeah.
So what do I need to add something? Just a Docker image that follows some structure?
Yeah. So we have a repo here. It's called Awesome PrimeHub Apps, and we provide a lot of examples for like if you want to integrate your apps into PrimeHub. You have the docs to follow, and you have examples to copy from it. Like Label Studio we did is here. So it's a YAML, and you have to find some basic environment variables for maybe the apps require some usernames and the path you want to mount your data and like the arguments you want to store. So it's kind of like just like a normal application in Kubernetes. Yeah, so it's nothing really special here. Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about the other tabs you have in PrimeHub? Because I noticed there are things like jobs, schedule, deployment. So what are them?
Yeah, okay, I can quickly go through it. So for jobs, I think, for example, maybe I want to create a long-running training job over the night, right? So I'm in the office. Then I can start a new job here. And I can also decide like what kind of instance I want to use to run jobs and what kind of I want to run jobs. And I can type of the commands that I want to run directly here. And then you will schedule jobs automatically. And if you run it too long for over time out, you will get killed. Yeah. So it's kind of like so I don't have
cron job, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And for the schedule, it's just jobs with like a recurrency. So it's kind of the same thing. And for models, I think this is a pretty interesting part is that, so back to the apps, you can see that we have an ML4 integration. And for ML4 is a management tool for your models and for your experiments tracking, this kind of thing. And since a lot of people are using ML4, you can actually, we have provided direct integration with ML4 inside PrimeHub. So you can register your model in notebooks and you will show up here, and you can we provide kind of like an interconnection between the jobs you are running and the models you have and the models registered in the ML4. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. So if you go to our doc site, you can go to here, and you can see that we kind of have you can directly manage your models which are registered in the ML4 right inside PrimeHub. Yeah.
So what I get from this is not only for bootcamps that you want to have over a weekend. This is much more. This is like a full ML platform that can do, you can do experiments, then you can schedule your jobs, and then there is also this deployment tab that you haven't showed yet. So it's much more than just a thing for experiments, right?
Yeah. It's much more than just experiments. It's about like the whole life cycle of your ML ops. Yeah. So it has a lot of things in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And last, we have a share file system here, so people can just upload everything you want here. It's kind of like old school service in school. Yeah. And for the last part, I want to show I think the coolest way to use PrimeHub is that, so right now you see the PrimeHub. Well, I can use PrimeHub with a pretty cool GUI graphical user interface, right? But actually, the PrimeHub, you can use PrimeHub completely with our APIs or our SDK. So we provide an example here, which is a notebook running in the Google Colab. So it gives you the headless way to control PrimeHub. So you can like create jobs and create deployments or create models and put data into apps all inside this Python notebook. So for example, you can install our SDK, and you can get a login token, and then you can just start controlling PrimeHub right inside your Python. So this kind of creates a lot of opportunities for people to integrate PrimeHub to their workflow. For example, maybe I already have some kind of CI system that's going to automatically run my tasks and deploy my models. And then I can control PrimeHub. So maybe example, I can automatically track these models I created and put them into PrimeHub. So allow future editing or experimenting. So the whole PrimeHub is actually can be run as another layer of infrastructure for your project. So you can, like here, you can use our command line interface to get data set inside the PrimeHub. You can download them to your Python, local cluster, and you can just run data processing here. And sure, you can create jobs from here. So it's kind of, you can use it as a worker node for your daily work, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is a really cool way for people to use PrimeHub. And we actually have customers who, their idea is that they know machine learning, but they don't know about anything. They don't know anything about Kubernetes. So they are kind of like using PrimeHub as an interface for them to control all these underlying computing resources. So they can focus on building their machine learning products, and or have to do, okay, I created jobs, and how does the job work on Kubernetes? They don't really care. Yeah. So yeah, so this is, I think this the latest solution for PrimeHub, which I think is a really cool way to use this. So we are kind of becoming kind of infrastructure for other people to innovate on their workflow and on their toolings. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm wondering, I'm looking at this. This is like a lot of stuff. How many people are actually working on this?
Working for Kubernetes, I think we have about 15 engineers right now. And we also have about 15 people working on other stuff. I mean, it's like products, marketing, and business development, these kind of things. Yeah. So the whole company is about 30 people, I think.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, I was wondering, so you have an example for AWS. For other Kubernetes, managed Kubernetes versions, it's also not difficult to have it there, right?
Yeah. We provide a Helm chart for the PrimeHub. So if you know Kubernetes, you can install them pretty easily. But if you want to like the most easy way to set up, we only provide AWS right now.
Yeah. But that was, I'm surprised how that it's even possible to do it with CloudFormation. I didn't know that it's yeah, you can do that, because I remember using CloudFormation and having to write all this YAML configuration and then using AWS CLI to apply this config. So I didn't know it's even possible to do this one-click thing. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we are using AWS CDK to set up, and it's also open source. So if you want to see how we do it, you can also go to our GitHub to see it. And our approach to this problem is kind of quite interesting. We show this solution to the consultants and solution architects inside AWS, and I'm kind of surprised, like, so a lot of way we are abusing CDKs. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, but you can take a look here.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to contribute, how do they do that?
Well, if you want to contribute, so first we have a Discord, and you can join here, and we can have a discussion. You can go to our GitHub, and you can join our Discord here, and we can have a chat about like what you want to do, what kind of feature you want to see, and then well, it's open source, so you send a pull request, open some issues, and we are all welcome, very welcome for this kind of collaboration. So help us write some stock documents, right? Everyone loves documentations.
Yeah. Great. And what are your plans? What do you have? What do you want to work on in the nearest future?
So for the nearest future, we are kind of exploring. So just like what I show you, like people are starting using PrimeHub as the infrastructure for their tooling, right? So we are also exploring what kind. So right now the PrimeHub is kind of like a closed environment for your team or for your bootcamp or for your classroom, right? But we are starting to explore that. So what if we want to turn this into like a public collaboration platform like GitHub? So what if people want to share their work with the amazing stuff they're building with PrimeHub, then they want to share it to work, how are they going to do that? So that's what we're going to do, exploring right now. So it's kind of like we're kind of moving up in the abstraction layer. So PrimeHub is mostly focusing on the infrastructure, and then we are trying to evolve furthermore into kind of like a collaboration there. Yeah, that's all very early stage. So I'm not so sure what it's going to be, but yeah, that's the direction we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone who is watching this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do have advice. Well, I think for machine learning is kind of in this early stage of starting to. It's kind of in this early stage of world domination, right? It's already everything is just getting started. So I think we shouldn't be limited. We should not limit ourselves into a status quo. Like so many example, we do everything privately. We use our own infrastructure to train our model, and we don't really collaborate with other teams right now because every company is doing their own machine learning stuff in their company. I think that's the wrong way to approach this problem. I think if you really want the machine learning industry to success and to make everything, to create really interesting stuff, I think we should work in public and we should share what we are working. So open source is a pretty good way to do it. Yeah. So no matter what you want to work and want to create new models, you want to create new tools, and you want to create new infrastructure for machine learning, I think we all should do this in public, in an open way. Yeah. That's
thanks. And I would like to thank you for actually doing the work you're doing in public, because I see that it's a lot of effort that you put in building this platform. And this is amazing because yeah, people can get it for free. And yeah, that's great stuff. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love this opportunity to share to the world what we're doing right now. Yeah.
And I noticed that you have only 263 stars. So for anyone who is watching this, you need to fix that. So go to this GitHub repo and please start it, because this project deserves more stars.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So please start us. We really need this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing these things. Thanks for doing a demo.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah. A lot of fun. Thank you.